Imagine this. You wake up every morning and the world is telling you what to care about. The media, your friends, social media, they're all pulling your attention in 100 different directions. But what if I told you that the secret to inner peace lies in a single shift of perspective? We live in a world that's obsessed with external validation, external achievements, and external approval. But the real power, the real peace, is only found when you stop seeking it outside yourself. Today, I want to take you on a journey into the profound world of Stoicism and dark psychology to show you how focusing solely on yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a powerful, centered, and intentional way, will unlock a level of peace you've never known. But before we dive into this life-changing concept, if you want to start reclaiming your peace right now, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on this transformative content. And I want you to comment below with the phrase, "My peace is mine to control," because today we're taking control of what matters. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 1, the power of self-focus. Think about this for a moment. What would happen if you stopped seeking validation from others? If you no longer measured your worth by the opinions of people who don't truly matter to you? This is where the power of self-focus comes in. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to forget that the one thing you can control at all times is yourself. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you choose to focus solely on yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, you reclaim your power. You stop giving away your peace to people or situations that are beyond your control. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean being selfish or isolated. It means directing your energy inward. It means stopping the endless cycle of comparison, the need for approval, and the chase after things that don't lead to fulfillment. In fact, by focusing on yourself, you unlock your truest potential. You stop living for others and start living for your own purpose. That's when real growth happens. If this resonates with you, drop a comment below. I choose my own path, and start walking it today. Now, let's move forward. It's time to explore the next powerful idea. Number 2, the illusion of control. Let's face it, how many times have you found yourself frustrated over things that were completely out of your control? Whether it was someone's opinion, an unexpected situation, or a moment of bad luck, we all experience this feeling. But here's the kicker. That frustration is a lie. It's an illusion. The Stoics teach us something incredibly important. You can only control yourself. Everything else, other people, events, outcomes, are beyond your power. The sooner you embrace this, the sooner you find peace. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." It's the constant battle we wage against forces we can't control that creates most of our pain. We think we can control others, control the future, control outcomes, but we can't. And when we waste energy on things we can't change, we lose focus on the one thing that matters, our own response. When you focus solely on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, you stop wasting energy on frustration. Instead, you redirect that energy to things that bring real growth and inner peace. Think about it. How much time do you spend worrying about what other people think? How often do you let the uncontrollable dictate your mood? By accepting the dichotomy of control, you free yourself from the endless cycle of stress and frustration. Now, I want you to think about this. What's one thing in your life you've been stressing over that you can't control? Drop it in the comments, and let's move forward together in peace. Number 3, Embrace solitude for clarity. We live in a world that constantly pushes for more noise, more distractions, more connections. But here's a hard truth. Clarity does not come from noise, it comes from silence. In fact, the Stoics valued solitude as a key component of their philosophy. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And you can't truly assess how to react unless you first create space to think clearly. In the realm of dark psychology, there's a concept that the most powerful individuals often seek out solitude, not to escape the world, but to gain a better understanding of themselves and their true intentions. Alone you face your thoughts, and in that confrontation, you find your strength. Solitude allows you to stop reacting to the chaos around you and start responding with clarity. It's not about avoiding people or life. It's about retreating from the world long enough to hear your own thoughts, to reconnect with your essence. Only then can you align your actions with your deepest values. The truth is, we're all surrounded by distractions that dilute our focus. But when you spend time in solitude, you're no longer subject to the noise and expectations of others. You find your center, and with that clarity, you can face any challenge that comes your way. I challenge you to embrace solitude today. Go for a walk alone, sit in quiet reflection, or spend some time journaling without interruptions. What truths will you uncover in the silence? If this speaks to you, leave a comment saying, "In silence, I find clarity." Take that first step toward peace. Now, let's move on to the next powerful principle. Number 4, the ego trap. The ego is a master manipulator. It feeds on attention, approval, and admiration. It thrives when others notice us, when we feel important, or when we believe we're superior to others. But here's the catch. The more you feed the ego, the more you become enslaved by it. In dark psychology, one of the most dangerous traps is the ego's insatiable need for validation. The ego wants to control how others perceive you, and it will do anything to maintain that control. But this comes at a cost: your peace, your freedom, and your inner harmony. The Stoics knew that true happiness wasn't found in external accolades. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you live for the approval of others, your thoughts become chained to their opinions. But when you detach from the ego, you find a kind of freedom that many never experience. Your ego is the thief of peace. It makes you crave what you can't control: the approval of others, the admiration of the world. But when you release the grip of the ego, you become impervious to those external forces. The only validation you need is the one you give yourself, the one grounded in virtue and personal growth. If you're ready to let go of the ego's control, leave a comment with the phrase, "I am not my ego." This is the first step toward reclaiming your peace. Let's keep moving forward. Number 5, Stoic virtues, the path to inner peace. Now let's dive even deeper into the core of what it means to live according to Stoic virtues. These principles are not just philosophical ideas that exist on paper. They are practical tools that, when embraced fully, will radically shift your life toward true, unshakable inner peace. Let me break them down for you, piece by piece, and show you how they can change everything. First, we begin with wisdom. Wisdom in Stoicism isn't just about knowledge. It's about understanding the nature of the world, the nature of yourself, and your place in it. It's the ability to clearly discern what is within your control and what is not. In a world full of distractions, wisdom allows you to cut through the noise and focus on the few things that actually matter. Imagine waking up every day with a clear sense of purpose, knowing exactly what your goals are, and understanding that not everything needs your attention. Wisdom gives you that clarity. It helps you prioritize what truly deserves your time and energy, and it teaches you to let go of the things that are outside your control, like the opinions of others or the events you can't influence. The second virtue, courage, is what empowers you to act on that wisdom. It's easy to know the right thing to do, but courage is the force that drives you to actually do it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the ability to act in spite of it. Think about the times in your life when you've hesitated or avoided something because you were afraid of what might happen. Courage, as the Stoics saw it, is about standing firm in your beliefs, even when the world challenges you. It's about having the strength to pursue your path and live authentically, regardless of what others think. What's the greatest act of courage you can take today? Maybe it's cutting out the toxic influences in your life. Maybe it's saying no to distractions. Maybe it's setting a boundary with someone who drains your energy. Whatever it is, courage will be your ally. Next, we come to justice, the virtue of fairness. Justice in Stoicism is not just about dealing with others. It's about dealing fairly with yourself. It's about acknowledging your inherent worth, setting boundaries that protect your energy, and not allowing yourself to be exploited or manipulated. In our modern world, justice is often misunderstood as only being about fairness to others. But for the Stoics, justice starts with self-respect. It means not sacrificing your values or your well-being to meet the expectations of others. It means being fair to yourself by acknowledging your needs, desires, and limitations, and treating yourself with the same fairness and respect you would extend to others. Living justly requires you to confront the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about owning your actions, learning from your mistakes, and striving to live in alignment with your highest values. Justice also calls you to treat others with integrity and respect, but it starts with how you treat yourself. Finally, we reach temperance, the virtue of moderation. In a world obsessed with excess, temperance is your defense. It teaches you to find balance and to live with restraint. Temperance is about self-control, the ability to say no when you need to, and to focus on what really serves you in the long term, rather than giving in to the short-term pleasure of instant gratification. Think about all the things that we're encouraged to overindulge in: food, social media, shopping, entertainment, even relationships. These distractions pull us away from what really matters, from the clarity and peace we need to live a fulfilled life. Temperance teaches you how to moderate your desires, how to resist the pull of excess, and how to stay grounded in the present moment. Temperance isn't about deprivation. It's about recognizing that true peace comes from balance. It's the ability to enjoy life without becoming addicted to pleasure or distracted by excess. It's about finding contentment in the simple, quiet moments. Now here's the key. When you live by these Stoic virtues, you don't just find peace, you become peace. Your external circumstances lose their power over you because your sense of self-worth is no longer tied to them. Instead of seeking validation from others, you are grounded in your own principles. You no longer need the approval of anyone because your peace comes from living virtuously, from being aligned with your true self. The beauty of these virtues is that they are under your control. While you can't control other people or external events, you can control your responses. You can control your thoughts, your actions, and your choices. By living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you create a foundation that is rock solid, no matter what happens around you. So, I want you to think about this. Which of these virtues do you feel you need to develop more in your life? Where can you start applying more wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance today? If you're committed to living by these Stoic virtues, leave a comment below. I choose virtue over validation, and let's begin this transformative journey together. let's move on. The next principle is a game changer for your emotional freedom. Number 6. Detachment, the power of not caring. In a world that constantly demands your attention, your energy, and your emotions, the most powerful thing you can do is learn detachment. What do I mean by that? It's not about being cold or indifferent to people. It's about detaching from outcomes, opinions, and events that you cannot control. It's about understanding that the only thing you truly own is your response to the world around you. This concept is deeply rooted in Stoicism and also has a profound connection to dark psychology. In fact, the most powerful individuals in the world practice detachment, not because they don't care, but because they know that by emotionally investing in every external event, they lose their personal power. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. If someone is able to show you that you are wrong, then change your mind. Don't be angry. Be grateful that they have shown you the truth. What he's getting at here is that your emotional attachment to the idea of being right or maintaining your pride can cloud your judgment and rob you of peace. When you detach, you allow yourself to see things for what they are, free from emotional bias. Detachment frees you from the grip of expectations. How many times have you been disappointed because life didn't go the way you wanted it to? Perhaps a friend didn't meet your expectations, or you didn't get the result you hoped for. This constant cycle of disappointment happens because you're emotionally invested in something you can't control. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're planning a vacation. You've made all the plans, you've been looking forward to it for months. But then something goes wrong. The flight is delayed, or the weather is bad. If you're emotionally attached to that outcome, you'll feel frustrated, angry, or disappointed. But here's the shift. If you practice detachment, you accept the situation for what it is. You acknowledge the disappointment, but you don't let it consume you. You can still enjoy the vacation, even if it isn't exactly as you imagined. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about anything. It means you stop allowing external events and the actions of others to control your emotional state. The moment you detach, you regain your power. You are no longer at the mercy of life's uncertainties. This principle is incredibly liberating because it gives you the space to focus on the only thing that truly matters, your response. When you stop trying to control everything and everyone, you free up mental and emotional space to live more fully and peacefully. Let me ask you this. Where in your life could detachment bring you peace? Maybe it's letting go of the need to be right. Maybe it's stepping back from toxic relationships. Or maybe it's simply accepting that some things are out of your control. If you're ready to embrace the power of detachment, comment below. I release what I cannot control and begin to free yourself today. Now, let's move forward. The next principle will help you regain mastery over your emotions. Number 7, managing negative emotions. Negative emotions, we all experience them. Whether it's anger, frustration, jealousy, or anxiety, these emotions can feel overwhelming and all-consuming at times. But here's a powerful truth. Your emotions do not define you. In fact, they are signals, not commands. And the Stoics taught us that it's not about avoiding negative emotions, but mastering them. Imagine the power you could have if you didn't let your emotions control your actions. Instead of reacting impulsively or getting swept away by your feelings, you could pause, reflect, and choose how to respond. This is where Stoicism gives you a real edge. One of the core Stoic practices for managing negative emotions is to recognize that your perception is what shapes your emotional reaction. It's not the external event that causes your anger, it's how you interpret that event. For example, someone cuts you off in traffic. The event itself is neutral, it's simply something that happened. However, your interpretation of the event, feeling disrespected or frustrated, is what triggers your anger. The Stoics teach us that the only thing we truly control is our perception. So instead of reacting emotionally in situations that trigger you, you can step back, adjust your perception, and choose a more peaceful response. Take, for instance, the teachings of Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's the key. When you embrace this mindset, you stop being a victim of your emotions and start becoming the master of them. Think about it. How many times has anxiety about something in the future stolen your peace today? How often has anger at someone else's actions led you to make decisions that you regret? The Stoics believed that emotional control is not about repressing your emotions, but about acknowledging them and then choosing to respond from a place of wisdom. Here's how you can start managing your negative emotions more effectively. Pause and reflect. When you feel a negative emotion rising, take a moment to breathe and assess the situation. What are you truly upset about? Is it something outside your control? Is it an exaggerated response to a small inconvenience? Change your perception. Ask yourself, is this really worth my emotional energy? Often, the things that trigger our negative emotions are fleeting and insignificant in the grand scheme of life. By changing how you view a situation, you can change your emotional response to it. Focus on what you can control, rather than fixating on what others are doing or how the situation is unfolding. Shift your attention to how you respond. Your peace comes from your inner actions, not from external circumstances. By practicing these techniques, you begin to reclaim your emotional freedom. You stop being at the mercy of every little thing that happens to you, and instead take ownership of your emotional state. And here's something important to remember. This is a skill that takes time to develop. It's not about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming wise enough to manage your emotions so they don't control you. Over time, this leads to a greater sense of peace because you're no longer at the mercy of emotional ups and downs. So, think about it. What emotion frequently takes control of your life? How can you start taking back control from that emotion today? If you're ready to start mastering your emotions, drop a comment below with, "I am the master of my emotions," and take the first step toward emotional freedom. Next, let's move on to one of the most important practices in the Stoic tradition, the power of the present moment. Number 8. The present moment, your true source of power. Let's talk about one of the most powerful yet often overlooked aspects of life, the present moment. We're constantly bombarded by thoughts of the past and worries about the future. But the truth is, the only moment that truly exists is now. And here's the kicker. The present moment is where your true power lies. The Stoics understood that the only thing we have control over is what we do right now. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The present is all you can truly influence. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, said, "The present moment is all we have. Make it count." Think about it. When you're lost in the past, thinking about mistakes you made or what you could have done differently, you are essentially wasting your energy on something that cannot be changed. When you obsess over the future, all the what-ifs and unknowns, you are again robbing yourself of peace. Neither the past nor the future are where your power resides. The present moment is the only place where you can take action. This is where you can choose your response to any situation, where you can decide what thoughts, emotions, and actions will shape your day. When you focus on the present, you stop chasing after things that are out of your control, and you start directing all your energy toward what's within your grasp. In dark psychology, there's an element of understanding that our attachment to past pain or future anxieties is what keeps us in a cycle of dissatisfaction. By anchoring yourself in the present, you step outside of this cycle. You free yourself from the emotional weights of the past and the worries about what might happen tomorrow. The Stoics practiced an exercise known as the view from above, where they would imagine themselves observing their life from a higher perspective, detached from time. This helped them see the fleeting nature of both the past and future, grounding them in the present moment. By doing this, they were able to find clarity and peace in the here and now. Practical tips for mastering the present moment. Mindfulness. Focus on what's happening right now. Whether it's something simple like eating a meal or having a conversation, fully engage with the moment. Don't rush through it or get lost in distractions. Let go of regret and worry. When thoughts of the past or future arise, gently remind yourself that these things don't hold the power to change your current moment. Let them go. Engage in purposeful action. Take steps today that align with your goals, values, and virtues. Don't procrastinate or put off important tasks. Every action you take now shapes your future. Breathe and reflect. Take a few moments throughout the day to stop, breathe deeply, and bring your attention back to the present. This resets your focus and grounds you. The present moment is where your potential for growth lies. It's where you can choose peace, choose growth, and choose to act in alignment with your highest self. If you allow yourself to get caught in the past or future, you lose the opportunity to shape your reality now. Ask yourself, how often do you catch yourself dwelling on what's already happened or worrying about what hasn't? What would it feel like to bring your attention back to what is happening right now? If you're ready to take back your power by embracing the present, comment below with, "The present is my power," and commit to living in the moment. Now, let's wrap things up with the final step toward finding true inner peace. Number 9, embrace your inner peace. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I hope you're starting to realize that the secret to inner peace doesn't lie in external circumstances. It's not about waiting for the world to change or for other people to treat you differently. True peace is found within, by focusing on yourself, mastering your emotions, and living in accordance with Stoic virtues. The journey we've discussed is about self-mastery, not just self-care. It's about recognizing that your greatest power lies not in manipulating the world around you, but in changing the way you react to it. By mastering your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions, you can find an unshakable inner peace that will never be disturbed by outside chaos. Remember, the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance are the pillars that hold up a peaceful life. These are the tools you can use every day to stay grounded in the face of any adversity. When you detach from the opinions of others, when you choose to live in the present moment, when you stop letting your emotions control you, that's when you truly begin to experience the freedom of inner peace. Now, it's time for you to put everything into practice. Start with small steps. Reflect on how you can apply these Stoic principles to your daily life, how you can focus solely on what you can control, and how you can begin to detach from the things that steal your peace. If you found this video valuable and are ready to take control of your peace, hit the like button and subscribe to Stoic Spark for more empowering content like this. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our next transformative video. Before we end, I want to hear from you. Comment below with the phrase, "I choose peace over chaos," and let us know how you plan to bring more peace into your life today. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your challenges, and your commitments to living a more focused, peaceful life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, remember, your peace is yours to control.